shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to sports talk.
So the Niners have dominated teams this season. They've outscored opponents by 169 points. That's their best in the first 11 games of any season in the Super Bowl. Outscored teams by at least 140 in their first 11. That was the great 84 season when they went 15-1. Only loss against the Steelers. And they won the Super Bowl. John Anderson has a friend. Ryan Clark plays more snaps than anybody on Sunday. And it's too much for a man in retirement, really. But tonight he's bringing the information and the plaid, which is really nice. I'm not sure this takes a genius to break this one down. The better team won, and they won by a lot.
No, the better team won, but the better team got their best player back offensively, and that was Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. This tight end can do it all, and we watched him from very early on in the game use Kyle Shanahan's misdirection.
At the end of the day, it shows you that you need to be fully healthy to take over a game like this. Kittle bring a lot of tenacity to that team and get them going. You don't have to put everything on Emmanuel Sanders. When you have Kittle on the field with him, every eye is gonna go on Kittle's. So that's open the door for Emmanuel Sanders, and Pettis, Samuel. It just opened up everything for them to be able to do a lot of things because they don't worry about so much being on their backs because all eyes are going to be on him. He had a strong game tonight. And you see the difference, the way San Francisco offense operates when he's on the field with them.
To work. Now you're going to see the running back's going to pull the linebacker in front of Amos. And as Amos is trying to cover Kittle from the outside, he gets beat to the inside. You get a stiff arm, and now you get a big play upfield. This is the way they use the play-action pass. You're going to get the play-action pass flow, and that's going to hold Kevin King to the outside. This totally opens up the inside of the field because you get the backer sucked up to play the run. George Kittle, again, showing that speed that not many tight ends possess. And this is my favorite play of the night. You're going to get an opposite play-action pass, and so that is going to hold King to the outside. Kittle pushes him to the corner and gets back to the post. Because you have a short crosser, you get the middle of the field safety out of the field and give Jimmy Garoppolo an opportunity to hit a big pass over the top. I know a lot of times we talk about Travis Kelce and other tight ends in the league, but there is no tight end that is more vital to their offense than George Kittle, and that was shown tonight. We had questions about this receiving core, but when he's back and when he's the number one guy, right, it gives Jimmy G someone to get the ball to.
And we had shown him
See, that's how it is. Like, Emmanuel Sanders could be a number one, but San Francisco number one option always gonna be Kittle's. Because he know that offense well. Because he been there so many years. And once he stepped back on the field, you see the difference in Garoppolo. He know he got Emmanuel Sanders now, but as soon as he come on the field, it's a big difference for them. That's his number one option right there. He feel more comfortable with Kittle on the field. Because their wide receiver core is good, but it ain't great. That's why they needed Kittles to be in there to get it going. And that's what happened. And everyone just thought the Packers are just going to beat San Francisco. I say this all the time. When you only got one good wide receiver, and they take him away, what can you do after that? Can someone else step up if Adams is not going? When you only have one tight wide receiver and you double team him and take him out of the play, who else can step up for Aaron Rodgers? It shows. Packers are a good team because they got Aaron Rodgers. if you take his number one option away, this team can't do very much on offense. They defense try to hang in there, but San Francisco got the best of them.
Couple of times, right, on the broadcast there, he is sitting up there.
Banging windows,
right,
absolutely.
That's what he's doing because he had the bad knee and the bad ankle, and they sort of scuffled along, but they find their offense tonight. You saw him in the game. He came up big. He's also going to be on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt at midnight, so you'll see more George Kittle. Defensively, I thought Aaron Rodgers was like an all-world quarterback, and they made him look like he was a rookie. That defense in San Francisco is salty, and they are stout.
I mean, what's happened with this team is you see them play against Baker Mayfield, and you say maybe Baker's not good. Then they do it to Jared Goff. Maybe he's not good. Well, we know what Aaron Rodgers is, and there was pressure all night, and there was also 5 sacks on the quarterback. And when you get Aaron Rodgers on the ground, when you don't allow him to get out of the pocket and make plays, that's when he gets into trouble. But now what's happened is this back end has picked it up. Jimmy Ward is playing well. You're playing well outside on the corners. Witherspoon is back opposite Richard Sherman. And when you can do these things, when you can play man-to-man and cover 3 on the back end, rush 4 and 5 guys up front, you get an opportunity to make plays and pressure any quarterback into making bad decisions. And they didn't get the turnovers other than the fumble. They didn't get the interceptions, but they were hard to move the ball on. And this team is on pace to break a record that has stood for over 30 years in the pass game. And
They have the defense to go deep in the playoffs. If you could do this to one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league right now, that shows your defense is that identity of this team. Because San Francisco offense ain't played good. It looked like that because how the score was. It was just that defense was holding the Packers with 0 points through most of the game. Then they got 1 touchdown and getting more after that. The flags helped the Packers get near the end zone. Because one play they had on 4th down, they had to go for it. But that flag would help them get there. That defense is very good. They have a good defensive line that can get after the quarterback, and that make the back end job much easier because they know the pressure on that D-line is helping them out. And they don't have to do everything like that. What everyone have to do was take away Adams. And that's what they did. And then you just pressure Aaron Rodgers and you win the game. And that's the outcome for the 49ers.
That's huge. I've talked to Richard Sherman. That's something he wants. That's something this defense understands. And they're working on the front end and the back end to get it.
So we hear all the time, Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, they gotta learn to listen. They had the whole training camp. They've had 11 games now. Shouldn't they be better than this in offense? Because they're not. It doesn't show.
What you've seen to me more than anything is an inability to make adjustments, is an inability to find ways to get plays to happen when they just aren't the better team. We saw it in Los Angeles. We've seen it tonight. When they're getting rushed up front, Matt LaFleur just can't find answers. I've said it all season. There's nothing creative or
SC Johnson.
groundbreaking about the offense that the Green Bay Packers are running now. And because of that, they're easy to find. You understand where they are. And this is old Mike McCarthy type football. It's Aaron Rodgers, please bail us out when things aren't going well. And when you have those opportunities to make plays against this team, it's because they don't make the adjustments as the game goes along. You lose a great right tackle, so now the protection has folded. And this San Francisco defense attacked and attacked all night. If Aaron Rodgers plays this way, if Matt LaFleur...
Well, I'm the one going to make a difference. One guy's not going to make a difference on the offensive line. You need all 5 of the guys to buy in. One guy wasn't going to make no difference. The defense is too good for San Francisco. They bounced back after that loss, got back playing good defense in San Francisco. The Packers have a good defense, but they need an offense to help them out. When you put your defense on the field so much, that's an advantage for the other team. Because they know they're going to be tired. Like, they only scored 8 points. That shows you. When you learn how to take certain things away from a good quarterback, you could win the game. And they did that. They ain't doing no adjustments because they couldn't figure it out. And that's why I want to say, you can't just have one guy to go to. You got to have multiple wide receivers that can help you out when that option is gone.
Can't find ways to schematically help him when the games get tough. This won't be a team we see win down the stretch, and the NFC North may be represented by someone else.
Like the Minnesota Vikings.
Like that
Is
team.
maybe and quickly to review that graphic, which you don't need a G. Again, it just sort of washes over you. 7-time Aaron Rodgers' career, he's played a team that was 6 games over 500 or better on the road, and that's a big donor. There are no wins to talk. There are no highlights from the wins.
It's hard to beat teams
in those games
that are that good in their building.
The dude that's part of the menace on that Gold Rush defense for the 49ers is Nick Bosa. He's got a brother, but this is Nick. This is the rookie. Joey's in San Diego. He's in Los Angeles.
And he did the exact same thing
to those guys.
Rodgers.
Except the difference is Nick talked to Diana Racine.
All right, here with Nick Bosa, who got his first taste of Aaron Rodgers today. You guys were able to shut down this Packers offense. What did you guys make of your performance?
What'd you say? Sherm was screaming.
He was screaming Bosa, Bosa, because this defense did such a good job of shutting down Aaron Rodgers in this Packers offense. How were you guys able to do it?
Just what we've been doing all year. Just playing aggressive, playing hard every play, and doing what we do.
It's such a fight to be at the top of the NFC, and obviously taking down the Packers was part of the challenge here. How are you guys able to consistently put together performances, especially on defense, like you guys have this season?
I mean, we have so many players. It's not just the starters. It's all of our backups, everybody who has a part in this. We knew we were going to have to make Aaron uncomfortable, and that's what we did.
Speaking of making Aaron uncomfortable, at one point, he had the ball there, and you didn't know he had the ball in his hand, and he was playing with you a little bit there. Do you remember that play, what happened?
Yeah, I know exactly what that play. He's good at the fakes. Yeah, sneaky.
For this 49ers team to continually be well and be as good as you got.
One thing you can see the difference in San Francisco, like, if the offense ain't really going like that, Shanahan not adjust and take things off of Garoppolo's shoulders. I understand you have Aaron Rodgers, but you got to make adjustments when that other team take away your guy. You got to learn how to adjust. They did not adjust anything. Kyle Shanahan, he adjusts a lot of things during the game. And that's why the result was 37-8. You got to learn how to adjust. When you only have one guy you could really go to and count on, you got to find other ways to take everything off of Aaron Rodgers and not put so much on his shoulders.
Have been, what's going to be the number one priority?
Just sticking to what we do. Obviously, it's working. Get a couple more guys back from injuries, and I don't see what's going to stop us.
Sounds like nothing.
Can't be talking trash on here.
No talking
Go
trash.
Niners. That's all I got to say.
That's all the trash you'll talk. Nick, thanks so much. That's back to you.
Go Niners. That's all you need, right?
I mean,
There's a rally cry.
the young kid is learning, but he obviously wasn't that coy when he was talking about Baker Mayfield and planting that imaginary flag on the field in San Francisco.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. I'm with
Okay,
Baker. If it
I'm
really
sorry.
bothered you so much, do something on Saturday in Columbus. Don't wait till you're in the pros a couple years.
I don't know. It was pretty good
That's
to
all
watch.
I'm saying. Are you ready for some GLA?
Let's get it.
That's right. Let's talk about that. The Patriots hosting the Cowboys. You got Tom and you got Dak. They both have
A smart situation team. They're tough. So really proud of our guys. We had a lot of guys step up today, played well, and made enough plays in all 3 phases of the game. Got plays in the kicking game, offensively, defensively. Really played a complementary game the way we need to play it against a good football team like this. And I was really proud of the way the guys stood up and came through. We were missing a few players, and we had a couple guys that were playing, I'm sure, well less than 100%, but really sucked it up and played hard for the team. And
These cauliflower chicken tenders are 490 calories for the whole bag. Crispier, juicier, baked, not fried.
gave us a great effort tonight. So it was certainly a game that was a lot about field position, and we had pretty good field position, probably the better part of the field position in the game. So that was important in all areas. So that was a big key to the game for us, and of course taking care of the ball.
And that's how they beat the Cowboys. Not one big play by Slater, but determined the game. Because neither offense played good. And it shows you teams that play in the dome don't do fairly well outside. You only need one play to determine a football game, and it was that block punt.
Was critical, not turn it over, and handling things well. The conditions were challenging out there, but Tom, the receivers, backs did a great job. Specialists, they all did a good job, and less than ideal conditions. So I think anytime you get through a game like that and take care of the football, that's objective number one. So that was good. Good to win.
If you have questions, raise your hand. We'll pass the mic to you. We'll start with Nick O'Malley. Opening the locker room in 2 minutes.
Bill, I wanted to ask you about those conditions. It's easy to sit in the press box or watching TV and go, oh, it's raining. But how much of an impact does the wind, the temperature, and the precipitation play on the offense, particularly in the passing game and trying to get the ball out, especially downfield towards the lighthouse end of the field?
Yeah, I think anywhere on the field was hard. The ball's wet, your hand's wet, the field was a little slick, and the wind was a factor. I don't know that any one of them were just unplayable, but when you add them all up together, it just made it very challenging. The wind kind of came and went, it gusted a little bit, and then it would calm down. Same thing with the rain. At times it was.
Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches of all time. The way he could adjust his defense, the way he could map everything out and had a defensive presence of mind, they don't really have that many big names on their defense. Collins and Hightower, they big names. Then we had big names on their defense. He never plugged a lot of guys that's undrafted into his defensive system and build a solid defense, and that's what they have for New England.
A little steadier, and then it seemed like it let up a little bit, but it was, just continuous throughout the day. So, but again, I can't say enough positive things about the way our skilled players handled that. And defensively, it's a big challenge tackling, especially against a great back like Elliott or Prescott or guys like that.